Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. In this video, I'm going to react to the mother of all bombs, the MOAB. This should be interesting. I've heard about the MOAB before. I've heard it, that it's just an absolutely incredible, like the power, the force that it can generate when it explodes. There's nothing like it. And this video, I'm hoping it's going to tell the full story about its inception. Why was it made? What was the need for it to be made? So yeah, let's get straight into it. Let's do it.
Hello everybody, welcome to another Mega Projects video. This one's all about a bomb. It's a particularly large bomb. It's the largest non-nuclear bomb, I believe. Ollie has written us a script, so let's get into it, shall we?
Wow, so the most powerful non-nuclear bomb.
On the 13th of April 2017, a terrifying object drifted down from the sky towards Cave Complex in Achin District, Nangarhar Province in Afghanistan. There was a peaceful calm on the grounds before hell arrived. What was falling that day was not just a bomb. It was the largest non-nuclear device in the powerful arsenal of the United States. It wasn't just a bomb, it was the GBU-43/B MOAB, the mother of all bombs.
Damn. Seeing the shockwaves.
Now, this isn't quite a complete history of bombs. That would take forever. But let us begin in 1945. Bombs fundamentally changed during World War II. The two devices that detonated above Hiroshima and Nagasaki caused the kind of devastation the world had never seen. The fact that whole cities could now be leveled by a single bomb was a truly terrifying advancement, with the Japanese emperor announcing the country's surrender a week after the bombing of Nagasaki. And with that, the age of the nuclear bomb had arrived. As we've seen time and time again, right here on Mega Projects, the Cold War was filled with countless cases of one-upmanship, leading to glorious opportunities for Mega Projects videos here in the future. The US and the USSR, they battled each other for prestige considerably more than they ever did.
That's Stalin, right? Who's this guy?
In real life. The need to go bigger and better than the other was a common trait across the decades, and it certainly played a part in the Soviet Union's sagging fortunes as it neared its collapse. In their development of nuclear bombs, both nations built the kinds of nuclear weapons that would make the devices dropped on Japan.
Is this a real detonation right here? This is the shock waves, man, and this huge mushroom cloud.
Seem like firecrackers. The largest US nuclear bomb was the B-41, with a massive 25 megaton yield. Roughly 500 of these were developed between 1960 and 1962. It's a bit excessive, guys. Each one of these would have had a power of over 1,900 times that of the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. However, the B-41 could not hope to match the monster that emerged from the Soviet Union. The Tsar bomber was first tested on the 30th of October 1961 over Novaya Zemlya Island in the Russian Arctic Sea. Detonated 4 kilometers in the air, the blast had a yield of 50 megatons, thought to be around 3,800 times as powerful as what was dropped on Hiroshima. And that bomb, by the way, side note from Simon here, that was initially intended to be 100 megatons, but they reduced its explosive potential.
Thank goodness.
Because they were worried about it. So by the early 1960s, both the US and the USSR were in the possession of true apocalypse bringers. Thankfully, that was the height of the madness, and from
This is Gorbachev, and that's Ronald Reagan?
there, a series of treaties began to limit the testing, and eventually the numbers of nuclear warheads around the world dropped off. But what about non-nuclear bombs? It's easy to focus on nuclear weapons, but what if you just want to blow up a small area and, not the entire world? A few truly massive, more conventional bombs also emerged during World War II. The British used a bomb known as Grand Slam 42 times during the war. These earthquaking bombs, weighing 10,000 kilograms, were used to penetrate 40 meters into the ground before detonating. The effect, as you might imagine, had more than a striking similarity to an earthquake.
40 meters into the ground. How would it achieve that, though, without detonating? That's a lot of burrowing. Maybe was there some kind of drill bit installed in the nose of the weapon? Because I just don't understand how it would go that deep into the ground.
The United States developed the D-12 Cloudmaker between 1944 and 1948, but the massive 19,800 kilogram bomb was never used in combat. In 2007, Russia claimed they developed what they called the father of all bombs. Remember what I was saying about one-upmanship? Which is to say, it is more powerful than the mother of all bombs. Seems like that Cold War one-upmanship just continued, especially recently. However, since the specifications, and indeed any evidence at all, seems very light, we're not entirely sure about that one.
The daisy cutter.
The mother of all bombs has its roots in another bomb which came to the fore during the Vietnam War. The 6,800 kilogram BLU-82 bomb live unit bomb that was heavily used during the US engagement in Southeast Asia was known as the daisy cutter, for the simple reason that it was initially used to clear landing zones for helicopters. Its role was expanded throughout the war and was sometimes used to hit specific targets.
What? This is the strangest... I've never seen a helicopter configured like this. It's almost like it detached the cabin for the crew. Look at that, isn't that weird?
Targets such as warehouses, bridges, and even concentrations of troops. And it wasn't just in Vietnam that these bombs, which at the time were the biggest in operation anywhere in the world, were used. Daisy cutters landed inside both Laos and Cambodia, the second of which occurred during the last combat operation in Southeast Asia in 1975 against the Khmer Rouge. The rescue attempt of US merchant sailors held captive by the Khmer Rouge came to be known as the Mayaguez incident and is sadly remembered for the 3 US Marines left behind on Koh Tang after the evacuation, who were later executed, and the deployment of a Blue 82. Fast forward nearly 20 years, and the US again found themselves at war as they combed the mountains of Afghanistan in search of Osama bin Laden. Several Blue 82s were dropped on Taliban or Al-Qaeda targets in November and December of 2001. They were not simply used for the catastrophic damage they could cause, but also for the psychological impact that such a weapon has on...
Yeah, man, it would just destroy morale. I mean, knowing that the enemy is capable of inflicting such destruction, you would just think, why bother fighting them? We can't do that. You know, what are we supposed to do against that? That's how I would be thinking anyway.
Enemy combatants. And this was exactly what the US had in mind with the mother of all bombs. The bomb was first tested in combination with the explosive tritonol, which is a mixture of 80% TNT and 20% aluminium powder, on the 11th of March 2003 at Eglin Air Force Base in Florida. As far as we know, it went well, and it was tested again on the 21st of November 2003. Measuring 9.1 meters end to end, it is as long as the height of 4.5 Michael Jordans. Okay then, and it has a diameter of 103 centimeters. But it's the power inside that makes this special or awful depending on how you'd like to look at bomb. Its blast yield is 11 tons of TNT, and the mother of all bombs is primarily designed for soft or medium soft targets, meaning it would not be effective in attacking a bunker, but would be great attacking an ISIS camp in the mountains. It's also important to put this bomb into perspective with large-scale bombing raids. During Operation Arclight in the Vietnam War, the United States Air Force conducted over 10,000 bombing raids, typically involving 2 groups of 3 aircraft. A standard mission dropped 168 tons of ordnance on an area measuring just 2.4 kilometers by 0.8 kilometers. Therefore, a single mission during this operation would have had a similar impact as 10 to 17 mother of all bombs. It's a fearsome and hellish weapon, but principally it's designed to be used in isolated instances. Dropping this kind of bomb is not as simple as just hitting a switch and crying bombs away as they used to do. The mother of all bombs needs to be deployed in a particular kind of way. Its carrier would normally be the MC-130, the Lockheed Goliath that handles many heavy-duty missions for the US Air Force. At an altitude of 1,008...
Damn, look at that image. That is... all of these, like ordnance, all of these bombs... Pff, imagine seeing that coming towards you.
800 meters or above, the bomb, which sits on a cradle, is deposited out of the back bay door of the aircraft and begins its descent by parachute. Once the bomb is safely clear of the plane, it detaches from its cradle, and with the fins guiding it, the bomb uses its satellite guidance system to reach the target. The bomb detonates just 2 meters from the ground, with a huge amount of oxygen burnt, causing suffocation both above and below ground. Around 20 of these bombs have been manufactured out of McAllister Army Ammunition Plant in McAllister, Oklahoma since 2003, with the Air Force stating that each one costs $170,000, which in today's money is about $250,000, but many speculate this isn't entirely accurate. The total program cost is thought to be around $314 million, which included development, testing, etc. If that is the case, the cost per weapon would be roughly $16 million.
Damn! Oh my god, that's a lot. That is expensive.
And the figures here have been adjusted for inflation. This brings us back to April the 13th, 2017, the only time the mother of all bombs has been used in combat operations. The previous administration had shied away from using it out of fear of causing significant civilian casualties, but 4 months after his inauguration, President Donald Trump authorized the use of a bomb against an ISIS cave and tunnel system in the mountains of Afghanistan. Casualty reports are varied, to say the least, with an Afghan army spokesman claiming 94 ISIS militants were killed, including 4 commanders. He went on to add that the strike had caused no civilian casualties. These reports have come into question, with some claiming that the number of militants could have been as low as 36, while others say a teacher and his son were among the dead. In terms of defeating ISIS, it's not really clear how successful this attack was. If we use the low casualty number of 36, it would mean a cost of $450,000 to kill each ISIS militant. Whether that is worth it to military leaders, only they know.
That's an interesting way to frame it, by calculating, the cost of, basically exterminating the people that you are trying to, and, cross-referencing that with the cost of the weapon. But I guess if they're high-value targets, then of course it is. Of course it's worth it, right?
Pope Francis commented about the bomb shortly after its use: "A mother gives life, and this one gives death. And we call this device a mother. What is going on?" And he wasn't alone. While the disgust of organizations like ISIS is evident, what a surprise, the terrorists don't like being blown up with it. The use of such a weapon did prove far from popular. Perhaps some assumed that this kind of warfare was now a thing of the past, but the truth is, it's never really gone. We just don't see it that often. Modern warfare has taken on a much more sterile, cold nature. Bombs and missiles can be launched hundreds, if not thousands of miles away, while drone operators sitting in the United States have the power to obliterate targets on the other side of the world. Even when we see war on television, we still see images of smaller scale attacks that might damage buildings, but often don't entirely destroy them. The truth is that these weapons are out there. Thankfully, we don't see them too often, but make no mistake about it, they are out there lurking. The fear of causing civilian casualties has probably never been higher, especially when it is the richest, most powerful country in the world striking one of the poorest. But I dare to say that this is a feat that comes from negative media coverage rather than a genuine regard for human life. The mother of all bombs is so monstrous, it has limited its use, and that is probably why we have only ever seen one strike using it. If anything, it is used as a psychological deterrent much more than an actual weapon. When the enemy carries the fearsome power of the gods, well, how can you possibly fight against it? So I really hope you enjoyed this video.
Man, that bomb is pretty powerful indeed. You just would not want to be on the opposite end of that thing. Like, I think they said it had like something like 3,000 times the power of the bomb that got dropped on Hiroshima. And that one killed like, what, 100,000 people? Absolutely insane. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.